Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We had a little bit of trouble with Tiger Leader this morning. We only played the one battle. I think I was expecting to get through a little more than that, but we're going to start a new round of baseball testing today. And first up, we're going to go back to 2009 for a matchup in Inside Pitch Baseball by Inside Sports Games. Just like it sounds, baseball simulator. So for those of you who may be happening on one of my baseball streams for the first time, what's actually going on here is going to need a little bit of backstory. So let me explain what's going on. So I've been playing baseball games off and on for a while on the channel, probably since I would say late last year I started playing a lot of baseball games on the channel. But I also did my first season replay when I did 1991 in Payoff Pitch Baseball. I did the regular season of that off the channel, and then put the playoffs on the channel. And I immediately announced after that replay was over that my next replay was going to be starting January 1st, and I'm going to be doing 1985, crossing off my birth year. Now, the original system I was going to use for that was going to be Inside Pitch. Then, I think it was a couple months ago, I had a stream of Inside Pitch, and just had an absolutely miserable time with it, to the point of having a meltdown. So after that, I actually bought 1985 in season ticket as well, with plans of potentially moving that replay into season ticket. I'd say I'm about 95% of the way right now to moving that replay, moving 1985 into season ticket. So this stream is going to have a lot to do probably with me keeping that replay in season ticket or moving it back to Inside Pitch. I also want to do some testing with Digital Diamond because I've added that to the repertoire as well as my main stat keeping program. So I definitely need to get reps with both Inside Pitch and with Digital Diamond. So I want to get the feel for all of that, which is what brings us here. So I'm going to be having a very careful eye, obviously, on this stream and how my mood reacts, to help me determine which system we're going to be in. Anyway, enough rambling on a little bit of the backstory. As for what game we're actually doing, as I mentioned, we are going back to 2009 for a matchup between the Chicago White Sox and the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome in, Dwayne. How are you doing? You're the first one to join us here at Miller Park. So I don't have a historical game for this one in front of me, but we'll go ahead and start setting the scene here. So taking our first look at Miller Park, which is actually probably about an hour away from where I live. Looks like a neutral park, favoring pitchers very slightly, I would say. +1 to strikeouts, +1 to walks, and no home run adjustment. 197 home runs hit at Miller Park in 2009. So with that, let's go ahead and everybody's going to take their seats in Miller Park. We'll get the ceremonies out of the way, and we'll get to the first pitch. Starting pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, Jeff Supan. 7-12 with a 5.29 ERA, 161 innings pitched, 200 hits, 80 strikeouts, and 66 walks in 2009 for the Brewers. While the Brewers start getting loose in the field, we'll go ahead and meet the White Sox starting lineup. Leading off today, we'll have Scott Podsednik in. Let me bring the score sheet over here. Scott Podsednik is in the left field once it refocuses. Alexi Ramirez is at shortstop. Jermaine Dye is in right field. A.J. Przinsky is catching. Brian Anderson is in center field. Chris Getz is at second base. Gordon Beckham is at third base. Josh Fields is at first base. And Clayton Richard will be hitting off of the White Sox pitcher card. And that's the lineup Jeff Supan is going to be charged with trying to keep in check for the Brewers today. Digital Diamond version 12 is a great board game companion. I think I've got Digital Diamond 11. I haven't upgraded to 12 yet. Which reminds me, let me make sure before we go too far in here. I just want to make sure that I've got Digital Diamond set to being board game companion as far as the what's the word I want? Outcome entry. And it's a good thing I checked that. Because I wanted to make sure I had that all set to go. It's probably going to be, it might be a little bit involved as well, especially if I need to get any kind of more complicated entry, but I've also got my Digital Diamond board game companion as well. So I don't know if you were around for when I was testing around with replay baseball, Dwayne. Say that 5 times fast. Anyway, I was not happy with how I did a stream with replay baseball. I think Jester was there with me as well when I was streaming that, but I was not happy with how it was turning out at all because replay was crashing constantly on me to the point where I finally reasoned. I was like, you know what? Rather than have replay baseball for some of the seasons and have to buy them individually, I'm just going to learn Digital Diamond once, and that way I've got pretty much every season I could ever possibly want. So that's a slight ramble on that aside. Anyway, what say we shut up and play a little bit of baseball? Let's say I shut up and we'll play a little bit of baseball here. Leading off for the White Sox, we've got Scott Podsednik. 132 games, 537 at-bats. Well, actually, we'll concern ourselves mainly with the homers. 7 homers, 48 RBI in 2009. We're going to use blue, white, and gold dice. Brewers are the home team. Blue for the row, white for the column. So, if everybody's all set at Miller Park, everybody's got their dome foam all set. So let's say we go to the same place where every game starts, and that would be the first pitch. Supan, 1-5, walk. 17 is going to be too high. Podsednik with a 3-5, and that's a power hit to left field. That's a 7, and against a righty, that's going to be good for a base hit, and Podsednik will be on with a base hit. Bite your tongue on that, Dwayne. I don't want to have any crash problems with Digital Diamond. So let me just make sure we ended up with... Yep, coming over to get it is Cameron, and that will be a base hit. Wait. Cameron should be in... Oh, I think I did that as a 1B8. Silly me. So, hang on just a second. Let me back that up. I wanted that to be a 1B7. Still have to get used to entering everything on Digital Diamond as well. Anywho, coming up to the plate now is Alexi Ramirez. 15 homers, 68 RBI on a 277 average in 2009. Strategy roll for Podsednik. And he's on the 19. I think Ramirez gets the bunt sign. If I remember correctly, I'm almost certain he should get the bunt sign here. And yep, he does get the bunt. And I think... I finally figured that out. It was actually 1B7 was all I needed to get to for that, Dwayne. Thanks, though. Now I got to decide if Ramirez is going to bunt, and I think I think we are gonna lay down the bunt here. So Supan will pitch. Actually, no, I don't think we need to lay down the bunt here. It's very early. We're not gonna play small ball here. So we're gonna override the bunt, and Supan will pitch. That's a 3-3. That's a blank. Ramirez with a 2-6. And it's fly to center field. Coming under that one should be Cameron. He'll make the catch. And that will be out number 1. Putting that into Digital Diamond. Ramirez will end up being out. And next up we have Jermaine Dye stepping into the batter's box. 250 average, 27 homers, 81 RBI in 2009. Once I get back over to the dice, I'll have the strategy roll for Podsednik. Infield will remain at double play depth, and it would help if I turn the scoreboard to the first inning of the game. Now let's get to the strategy roll for Podsednik. That's a 20. Supan's going to turn fire to first, and no, Podsednik will get back safely. Now Supan will turn and deal with Dye. He will set, and here's the pitch. With a 4-5, that's going to be at the park. Taking our first look at Miller Park. That's a 1-1 ground ball right in front of the plate. Ground ball right in front of the plate. So 3-3-4 on a right-handed batter. Second base McGahee pivot is a 0. On a 1-3, the Brewers get out of the inning. No, Podsednik will advance. Dye will be thrown out at first. So that's going to be a G2. Yep, that should be a G2. I should end up with a Podsednik at second and Dye out. Let me just make sure. That confirms perfect. 2 outs, and stepping into the batter's box now is A.J. Pierzynski. 300 average, 13 homers, 49 RBI in 2009. Once I get back over to the tower, we'll have the strategy roll. And nothing happening on the 9. Supan will turn and deal with Pierzynski. Supan will get the sign from... We'll get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 4-5. That is at the park again. Miller Park with a 2-3, and that's a blank. We're going to have a rare play with men on. So now let me find my rare play chart right here. Rare play with men on. 21, I'm reading it blue, then white. Passed ball chance, roll a d6 versus the catcher's passed ball rating. If a passed ball, it gets away to the backstop, all runners move up 1 base and head for another. So let's see if it's a passed ball first. Kendall's passed ball rating is a 5. So I believe he allowed a lot, so it seems like he allowed a lot of passed balls. I just want to remember, I want to make sure I've got that orientation straight. So it wants to be under, I believe. So if it's under, it's a passed ball, I'm pretty sure. I don't know why I feel kind of dumb that I'm having to double check this, but let me just double check that real quick. It's probably going to be under wild pitch, which will be on the pitcher card. Roll a d6 against the passed ball. If it's less than or equal to, so he blocks it. So Kendall actually didn't let by a lot of passed balls. That's a 3, so he'll stop that one from getting past him. So if it's let me just see if there's anything. If the passed ball gets away to the backstop. Okay, so Kendall managed to stop that one cold, which means we'll have ball 1, and we'll redo the at-bat. Actually, yeah, we'll redo the at-bat. 6-1, strikeout 5, and yes, that'll be a called strike 3 on Pierzynski, and the Brewers will get out of the inning. Let me find my pen. I just had it in my hand. Here it is. Oh, I have not been paying attention to that. So time out while I remember to update my score sheet. Okay, so that's a base hit for Podsednik. Ramirez. That's the one thing I don't like about Digital Diamond. It doesn't give you the score sheet. So there's no way to print this is where I'm going with that, and that I do find a little bit annoying. And then die with a G2, which sent Podsednik to second. And then Pierzynski, let me just double check that. I believe that ended up being a strikeout. 6-1, strikeout 5. Yep. That was going to be a called strike 3. That's what it was. Sorry for the delay there while I got that sorted out. But we will end up getting ready for the bottom of the first. Nothing across for the White Sox except the single and the sacrifice. Score is now Chicago 0, Milwaukee coming up to bat. And while the White Sox take their chance to get loose in the field, we'll take our first look at the Brewers starting lineup. Bringing the score sheet over for this as well. Leading off for the Brewers, we've got Casey McGehee at second base. J.J. Hardy is at shortstop. Ryan Braun is in left field. Prince Fielder is at first base. Mike Cameron's in center field. Corey Hart's in right field. Bill Hall is at third base. Jason Kendall's catching. And Jeff Supan is the pitcher today. So we'll reorganize all of that. And leading off for the Brewers is Casey McGehee. 301 average, 16 homers, 66 RBI in 2009. Richard will get the sign from Pierzynski. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. 6-4. That walk. 20 is going to be too high. McGehee, I guess 4-4, and that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Getting under that is going to be Anderson. He'll make the catch, and that's the first out of the inning. Where was I? Oh, yes. So that's an F8. Marlon Price, welcome into Miller Park. We just had McGehee fly out to center field. So 1 out in the inning now as we've got J.J. Hardy stepping into the batter's box. 229 average, 11 homers, 47 RBI in 2009. Richard gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. 4-6, strikeout 1. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty easy strike 3. Such a pretty bad swing by Hardy on that one, but that will be the second out of the inning. Two outs, and here's Ryan Braun stepping into the batter's box once I can get my nails under his card. 320 average, 32 homers, 114 RBI in 2009. Richard looks into Przinsky for the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. 1-4, strikeout 12, no, too high. Over to Braun with a 4-1, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Coming under that one for the White Sox is going to be Dye. He'll make the catch, and that will be a 1-2-3 inning for the Brewers. Once I get Digital Diamond updated, we will have no score after 1. A little bit rambly on the intro, so I do apologize for that if you're watching this later on in YouTube on the replay, but just had to set a little bit of scene. Leading off the top of the second for the White Sox, we've got Brian Anderson, 243 average, 4 homers, 18 RBI in 2009. Supan will look in at Kendall for the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. That's a 5-2, and that's a blank. Going over to Anderson with a 4-1, and that's going to be a ground ball over to third. McGehee will pick that one up, and he'll throw it over to first for out number 1. Stepping into the batter's box now for the White Sox, we've got Chris Getz. 261 average, 2 homers, 31 RBI in 2009. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 6-3, and that's going to be another fly ball into center field. Once again, actually, that's going to be Cameron coming under that one. He'll make the catch, and that will be out number 2. Two outs, and here's Gordon Beckham stepping into the batter's box. 270 average, 14 homers, 63 RBI in 2009. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and he will pitch. Supan with a 1-3 against a righty. That's a home run result, and the 4 is going to put the White Sox on the board with a boom! High, deep, gone. Home run, Gordon Beckham. And the score is now 1-0 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium groans. Ugh. And there's our first solo bomb of the day for the Whites. Our first run of the day. Here's Josh Fields. 222 average, 7 homers, 30 RBI in 2009. Supan's got to have instant amnesia with that home run. He will look into Kendall for the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 5-1, wild pitch, ball 1. I know on the new Inside Pitch version 4, it's going to be, that wild pitch is actually going to be a blank. ID Jester now joining us at Miller Park after Supan uncorks a wild pitch. He will pitch again. That's a 1-4 this time, walk 3, and Fields will trot down to first as a slider misses the zone. 2 outs in the inning, and now we've got Clayton Richard stepping into the batter's box. No individualized batting stats for the pitchers, of course. So let me make sure I've got Digital Diamond all set on that. So Fields should be at first on the walk. All right, we'll do strategy roll as Digital Diamond catches up. That's an 11, nothing happening there. Supan will look over at Fields at first. He'll turn to deal with Richard at the plate. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 2-1. That's a blank. Over to Richard with a 4-4, and that's going to be popped up on the infield over to second base. Getting under that one is going to be McGehee. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. But a run and a walk with a solo home run by Gordon Beckham, and the score is 1-0 White Sox after 1.5. With the Brewers coming up to bat. And Marlon, I was not even thinking about doing a double switch. All right, let me just make sure I've got all this straight. So that's going to be a P4. All right, let's make sure we end up with Richard flying out, popping out on the infield. Yep. All right, so heading into the bottom of the second, we've got the middle of the Brewers' order due up next. Leading off the bottom of the second, we've got Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder with .299 average, 46 homers, 141 RBI in 2009. Richard has got to be careful with Fielder. A mistake is probably going somewhere to Mars. Richard will get the sign from Pierzynski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard with a 4-2. Range play at the park. Miller Park with a 6-5. And a 6-5 is a power hit to right field. That's a 20. That's going to be too high. But now that's going to be a range play in right field. Going after that one is going to be Dye. His range is a 2. And he can't get that. And that is going to be a leadoff base hit for Fielder. So Fielder gets on with a leadoff base hit as Dye can't get to it. Infield, once I remember to adjust all of this, infield will go over to double play depth. For those of you who aren't familiar with my layout, I'll take a second to explain a bit of what I've got going on here. So the scoreboard's kind of changed out where now I had another scoreboard where I didn't have the inning section in the middle of that, so I've got that now. I'm using this blue peg peg, I guess, to denote which team is at bat. And I've got my out tracker along with my infield depth chart all the way up here. So I just want to point that out for anybody who hasn't happened on one of my baseball layout before. Infield at double play depth after that ramble, and here's Mike Cameron. .250 average, 24 homers, 70 RBI in 2009. Strategy roll first. That is a 10, nothing happening there. So Richard will look into Pierzynski for the sign, glance over to Fielder at first. Richard will set, and here's the pitch. 3-2. That's right back to the park. Getting another look at Miller Park. 4-5. 4-5 is going to be a blank. We're going to have another rare play with men on. We've been getting quite a few rare plays. A 26. If a runner on first, hit to right side, strikes the runner. Runner's out, and the batter's credited with a single. So Fielder is going to be out, and Cameron gets a base hit out of that. So that's going to be an interesting thing to enter in on Digital Diamond so it keeps the stats properly. Let's see. So bear with me while I see if there's a command for runner gets hit. Runner gets hit with a ground ball. Dwayne, have you ever had this pop up before where you've had somebody get hit with a ground ball? And yeah, that is very nice, Marlon. You've got somebody to help you out with that. So I think what I'm going to need to end up doing is I may need to erase Fielder. I'm looking here in the board game companion, and I don't think I'm going to end up getting anywhere with this. So, I'm trying to think how I want to enter this. So I think we're going to end up with... Alright, so I think we're going to erase the runner. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this. Actually, let's try runner out R1, 1B. I think it's going to be something with runner out. Yeah, I see that, Jester. He's looking at that, but I think the way it's going to be is 1B. We're going to end up with 1B, R1, runner out. Something like that. See if that gets me what I want. Fielder should not be at second base. So that's our only... I think that's the only glitch we've got coming out of this. So... So let's see how we do this. So it's going to be R1, runner out, 1B. Let's try that. That shouldn't be an illegal outcome because that's what I'm trying to get to. Should be a runner interference. The only thing I see for interference here is catcher's interference, but that's not what I want here. Joy. I don't see anything in the board game companion. So what we're trying to get to, Marlon, and it's kind of interrupted the flow, is we're trying to end up with the ground ball hitting fielder, fielder's out, Cameron ends up with a single. That's where we're trying to get to. So the rare play was a 26, just to show you what we're looking at here. If runner on first, ball hit to the right side, strikes the runner. Runner's out, batter credited with a single, otherwise a G3. So that's what we're trying to. So we're trying to get to so we're in Digital Diamond. We're trying to get to Cameron on first base, fielder out. And we're trying to figure out how to enter that into Digital Diamond. So this isn't a problem I've been having with Inside Pitch. I think this one is going to be on Digital Diamond is what we're going to call this one. 4-6 out at second. That could... I guess we'll work it that way. That'll take us to the same place. So let's go G4-6. That'll take us to the same place. I was trying to get it as accurately as I could, but for stat purposes, it should end up with a... For stat purposes, it might end up being a little bit of a problem, but anywho, I'm starting to ramble on that. So, Cameron will end up with a single. Fielder is out. One out. Infield is still at double play depth. And here's Corey Hart. He had 260 average, 12 homers, 49 RBI in 2009. Strategy roll, nothing happening on the 14. Richard will glance over to Cameron at first. He'll turn and deal with Hart. Gets a sign for Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. 6-3. That's a pitcher result, but the 17 is going to be too high for that. Going over to Hart with a 2-4. And that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Coming under that one for the White Sox is Podsednik. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So that's going to be an F7. And stepping into the batter's box now, Bill Hall. 201 average, 8 homers, 36 RBI in 2009. Strategy roll. Nothing happening on the 6. Cameron will stay put. Richard will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. That's a 3-3. Error on a throw. Where are my error charts? Right here. Nope. I want to make sure I've got the error on a throw chart handy, because this is something else I've always had problems with in Inside Pitch. Going to Hall. 2-2. That's a power hit to right field. That's a 10. And against a lefty, that's going to be a triple. So we need to see if there's a throwing error. Cameron will score at the very least. Hall will be at third. We need to check on the right fielder to see if there's a throwing error, though. Right fielder for the White Sox is Dye. His error rating is a 5. That's a 10. He's not going to make a throwing error. But this game will be tied. This game will be tied once we get that all caught up in Digital Diamond. So that's a... And just like that, the score is tied. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Jason Kendall. 241 average, 2 homers, 43 RBI in 2009. Infield is going to play straight away in on that one. Single runner out R2. Good to know. Strategy roll for Hall, and nothing happening on the 15. Richard will get the sign from Brzezinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard with a 4-4 strikeout, 18 is high. Kendall with a 2-2, and it's a grounder to third. Picking that one up for the White Sox is Beckham. He'll throw it over, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 3 hits, and this game is all tied. This game is tied at 1 after 2. Hopefully we can start to pick up the pace a little bit, but as I mentioned, I'm also still learning. I'm also still learning inside pitch a little bit and still getting the feel for Digital Diamond. Top of the third, and we've got the top of the order due up for the White Sox. Here's Podsednik. Podsednik today is... Actually, did I finish entering the... No, I didn't. So Kendall with the ground ball. Okay. All right. Podsednik, as we were saying, is 1 for 1 with a single. It should be... Okay. Now that we've got that sorted out, Supan will look in at Kendall for the sign. He will set. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. Supan, 6-6. That's a blank. Over to Podsednik. With a 1-6, and that's going to be a fly ball into left field. Coming under that one is going to be Braun. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 1. While Digital Diamond catches up, we'll bring Ramirez into the batter's box next. Ramirez today is 0 for 1. Supan will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan with a 6-4. Error on a throw. Get back here, error charts. Ramirez with a 1-5, and that's going to be a base hit past second base. So there won't be a... Oh, right. So second base is going to be again, that's a base hit. Hit to second base. Second baseman is McGehee. His error rating is a 0. Actually, no. Let's look at the right one. McGehee, his error rating is a 6. That's a 12. He's going to just eat that one, and Ramirez will be safe at first on the base hit. Infield will move to double play depth, and here's Dye. Dye today is 0 for 1. Strategy roll up first from Ramirez. And nothing happening on the 4. Dye does get the hit and run sign, I think. So, right. Okay, the hit and run begins where the attempt ends, which the attempt is 2. That's a 4, so Dye with a strikeout rating does get the hit and run, but he's got the power to give the hit and run sign a sign of his own and swing away. Supan will look in at Kendall for the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan with a 4-6. Error on a grounder. I cannot get away from this error chart. Dye with a 3-3. And that's going to be a fly ball into center field. Fortunately, I don't need the error chart because getting under that one on a fly ball is going to be Cameron. He'll make the catch, and that will be out number 2. I almost should put a set of charts. I should almost probably just put a set of charts up here in the game room so I can keep them up. Anyway, here's Przinski. Przinski today is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. 2 outs in the inning. Let's pay attention to all of that, Phoenix. Strategy roll. Nothing happening on the 4? No. Supan looking into Kendall for the sign. He will set, and here comes the pitch. 5-6. Possible error. Jeez. Once again with the possible error. Przinski. 4-6. And that's a ground ball to second. Going after that one is going to be McGehee. His error rating is a 6. That's a 4, and he's going to fail. He's going to make an error on that one. He's going to boot it, and all runners advance. So on the E4, suddenly the White Sox have runners on first and second with 2 outs. And as Digital Diamond catches up, we'll get Anderson into the batter's box. Anderson today is 0 for 1. Strategy roll. And nothing happening on the 14. Supan looking at his defense, looking at McGehee, wondering what happened there, trying to get out of the inning. Supan will get the sign from Kendall. Anderson waits for the pitch. Anderson will set. Here's the kick from Supan, and here's the pitch. 2-5. Walk plus 10, and the 19 is going to put the bases full of White Sox. This is a very dangerous situation if you're a Brewers fan. Although the only consolation the Brewers have right now is that the White Sox have somebody with almost no power coming to the batter's box in Chris Getz. Getz today is 0 for 1. He also flew out his first time up. Strategy roll up first. That's a 7. Nothing happening. Bases full of pale hose. Supan, Miller Park, looking very nervous, hoping Supan can get them out of trouble. Supan will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. That's a 2-5. Walk plus 10, and instead he's going to make a terrible pitch, and he's going to walk the White Sox back into the lead. That will be the second free pass given up in the inning, the third one of the game, as the bases are going to remain loaded. And the score will let Digital Diamond catch up once again. The score will now be 2-1 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's Beckham. Beckham today is 1 for 1. He had the solo homer that got the scoring started back in the second. Strategy roll. Nothing happening on the 15. Supan looking very nervous, hoping he doesn't serve up another sausage for Beckham to turn to pizza. Supan will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 6-4. Error on a throw. The bases on balls are killer for the Brewers today. So Beckham with a 3-6, and that's a power hit to right field. That's a 12, and against a righty, it's just going to die out there. But there's a actually, on an error on error on a throw, right? So an error on a throw is going to be, actually, I think that would be the last out of the inning. I think because it's the last out of the inning, there's no possibility of an error on a throw. I believe. So, yeah, error on a throw. Let me just double check. So, sorry, I'm slowing this down a little bit. So that turns into a fly ball out there. No, I don't think there would be an error on a throw because you wouldn't be trying to throw that in with 2 outs. So we'll call that just a fly ball into center field. Getting under that one is going to be Cameron. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side as the White Sox leave the bases loaded. But as the White Sox leave them loaded in the top of the third, but they pick up another run as Supan has a mini meltdown in the top of the third. I'm hoping you mean yes, I played that correctly, Marlon, because I've been having a lot of problems with inside pitch, and I'm hoping, because narratively speaking, I've talked about this before, from a narrative perspective, I really like what this game's going for, but it's been a lot for me to learn it. Anyway, heading into the bottom of the third, leading off, we've got Jeff Supan. Supan today actually is making his first appearance at the plate. Richard will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 3-5. Strikeout 9. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That will be the second strikeout for Richard. And stepping into the batter's box now, we've got McGahee. McGahee is 0 for 1 today. He flew out his first time up. Richard gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set. Let me adjust that. I've got the fielding helper card, the off shot. Anyway, Richard will set after getting the sign from Przinsky, and here's the pitch. 3-6. Strikeout 9. Yep, swing and a miss. Struck him out, and that's the third strikeout for Richard today. As we had 2 quick strikeouts. And the batter now is Hardy. Hardy today is 0 for 1. He also struck out. Richard gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 3-1. Strikeout. 20 is way too high. Hardy with a 2-3. And against a lefty, that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Dye. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. 1-2-3 go the Brewers in the bottom of the third. Score is now 2-1 White Sox after 3. Catching up with chat real quick before we go into the top of the fourth. All right, looks like everything's all good there. Just going to check my phone, see if there's anything else going on today. Nope. Stepping into the batter's box to lead off the top of the fourth for the White Sox is Josh Fields. Fields reached on a free pass. He walked in. Actually, no, he didn't walk in the run. Never mind, he wasn't batting during that. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 4-4. Range play at the park. Miller Park, 4-1. That's a home run to the pull side. Pull side for a righty is going to right field. Against a righty, he needs a 5. The 7 is just too high, so that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Coming under that one is going to be Hart. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 1. Fields had a hold of one, but he just got under it just a little bit too much. Here's Richard. Richard today is 0 for 1. He popped out his first time up. Miller Park, size. Phew! Thanks for stopping by, Marlon. Hope everything goes well for you. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 1-6. That's a blank. Over to Richard. 5-5, and that's a grounder to second. Getting after that one is going to be McGahee. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 2. And as Digital Diamond catches up, will bring Podsednik into the batter's box without sending Ramirez flying. Podsednik today is 1 for 2. 2-1 White Sox, top of the 4th. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 2-4 range play. Podsednik with a 5-2, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. Going after that for the Brewers is Hardy. His range is a 3, and he's got it. Nice play to get the Brewers out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the White Sox in the top of the 4th. Okay, just letting that catch up, and we've got the heart of the Brewers order due up next. Leading off the bottom of the 4th is Braun. Braun today, though, flew out his first time up. Just catching up with Chattell's good there. All right, Richard will get the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard with a 3-2, going right back to Miller Park. We've been getting a lot of action out of Miller Park today. 5-4 on Miller Park. That's a home run going the opposite way. Against a lefty, Braun needs a 17. That's an 11, and Braun is going to tie this game with a boom! High, deep, gone. Home run, Ryan Braun. Let's see if I can enter that as an HR7 for narrative detail. Deep left field. Oh, perfect about that. So yeah, Braun will get that one out, and the score is now tied at 2. Stadium cheers. Yay! And here's Fielder. Fielder today is 1 for 1 with a single. Richard, gotta have instant amnesia once again. Richard will get the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 2-6, walk, 7, and yep, that's ball 4. Richard Fielder will find himself on with a walk with nobody out. These teams can't be giving free base runners. Infield at double play depth. And here's Cameron. Cameron today is 1 for 1 with a single. Strategy roll up first as Fielder leads off, and nothing happening on the 6th. Richard will get the sign from Przinski. Fielder looking over from first. Cameron waits for the pitch. Richard gets the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 6-3. Pitcher result. The 5 against a righty is going to be a base hit on a 1-11. That's a 5, and that's a base hit. Fielder, the only way Fielder has the speed to get over to third is in our dreams. He will hold at second. Cameron up to first, and the Brewers have something cooking with nobody out. So 1B, right? Is that a... Hold up. Oh, yeah. That's a 1B1. Right? Okay, so stepping into the batter's box now, we've got Hart. Hart today is 0 for 1 with a flyout. Strategy roll up first. Nothing on the 10. Miller Park loud. Suddenly the Brewers have something cooking with nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. Richard gets a sign from Przinski. He will set. Here's the pitch. 1-1. That's at the park. That's a bad thing if you're a White Sox fan. Miller Park with a 3-4. And it's going to be a ground ball over to third. 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Where did we say that was hit? 3-4 on Miller Park. There's a star 3 that's grounded over to third. All right, so it's starting with a 5. So third, second base pivot. Second base pivot gets is a 0. So that's going to be a 1 to 4. It's a double play. And 2 outs. 2 outs on the play. Picking that one up is going to be Beckham. He'll fire that over to Getz at second. Getz will turn and fire to Fields at first. And that'll be a 5-4-3 around the horn twin killing. Yeah. Just making sure I've got my situation straight here. So that should be a... So that's going to be a G5A. I'll sneakily use a strat shortcut. We should end up with fielder at third. Yep, perfect. All right, making sure I got my fielders straight. Cameron Hart. And here's Bill Hall. Hall today is 1 for 1 with a triple. The infield is going to play back because the next out gets them out of the inning. Strategy roll. That's a 4. Nothing going on there. Richard, looking over to fielder at third. Gets the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. 5-3. Strikeout 11. Swing and a miss. Struck him out, and the White Sox dodge a bullet on that one. 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. A solo home run by Ryan Braun ties this game at 2 after 4. Supan is about to... Supan can pitch to 7... Actually... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can pitch to 6 more batters before he tires. Leading off the top of the 5th of the White Sox, we've got Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez today is 1 for 2 with a single, and he scored a run. Catching up with chat, all good there. Supan will get the sign from Kendall. He will set... And here's the pitch. Supan, 6-2. Another play at the park. Miller Park with a 6-3. And it's a ground ball to short. Picking that one up for the Brewers is going to be Hardy. He'll make the play, and that's out number 1. One out for Jermaine Dye. Dye today is... 0 for 2. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here comes the pitch. Supan, 6-4. Error on a throw. Dye with a 6-1. That's a power hit to right field. That's a 5, and that's going to be good for a base hit. That's a 5. Yep, that's a 5. That's going to be good for a base hit into right field. That ball is hit to Hart. His error rating is a 6. He won't make a throwing error, and he'll get that ball in nice and clean, and that'll be a base hit for Dye. Infield will go to double play depth, and here's Przinski. Przinski today is 0 for 1, but he reached on an error. Strategy roll up for Dye. That's a 16. Nothing happening there. Przinski waits for the pitch from Supan. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 2-2. Strikeout, 12. Not happening. Przinski with a 1-4. And against a righty, Przinski is going to get a hold of that one, and that's going to be a double into right field. Dye, base runner 2. Double to right. Double to right is a -2. Dye will hold at third, but Przinski will end up at second. And the White Sox now have something going on here. The infield is going to have to play in. And here's Brian Anderson. Anderson today is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Strategy roll. Nothing on the 13. Dye, not a great base runner at third base. They may end up holding him at third if this is not a good. This isn't good contact. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. Miller Park hoping to see a good pitch. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 3-1. Against a righty, home run result, but the 13 is too high. Anderson with a 2-3, and Anderson's going to get a hold of that one, and that's going to be a bases clearing double. That's going to be a bases clearing double into right field. Dye will come in to score. Przinsky will come in to score. Brian Anderson will be safe at second with a double. And the score is now 4-2 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium groans. Ugh. The infield will move back again, and here's Chris Getz. Getz today is 0 for 1 with a walk. We'll set up with a strategy roll here. That's a 6, nothing happening there. Supan will look into Kendall for the sign. 4-2 White Sox, top of the 5th. Supan will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 5-4. That's a blank. He's not tired yet, but he's getting close. Getz, 5-1. And that's a fly ball into left field. Getting under that one is going to be Braun. He'll make the catch for out number 2. Anderson, base runner 3. Hit to left. Actually, yeah, hit to left is going to be... Hit to left, Braun, a -1 arm. Anderson can get to third on a 1 or a 2, which that is not. He will hold, and there are 2 outs. And stepping into the batter's box now is Beckham. Beckham is 1 for 2 with a solo homer. Strategy roll for Anderson. And that's a 3, nothing happening there. Supan gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Supan, 6-5. That's a blank. Beckham, 6-3, and it's a ground ball to third base. Getting to that one for the Brewers is going to be Hall. He'll make the play, and that will retire the side. 2 runs on 3 hits, and a man left at second. But the White Sox have a 4-2 lead heading into the bottom of the 5th. In other news, Supan is now tired. So the Brewers are going to get some activity in the bullpen. As starting to get loose for the Brewers will be... who are they going to get warming up in the bullpen? The White Sox are looking at righty, lefty, lefty. So they're going to get Todd. So the Brewers are going to get Todd Coffey warming up in the White Sox bullpen. Richard still has plenty of gas left in the tank. Actually, he doesn't have that much left in the tank. He's faced 16. He can face 7 more before he tires. Leading off the bottom of the 5th, we've got Jason Kendall. Kendall today is 0 for 1. Richard will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here, once I adjust the out counter, here comes the pitch. 6-6. Strikeout 19 is way too high. As the blue die almost goes flying on me. Kendall with a 5-1, and that's a ground ball over to short. Picking that one up is going to be Ramirez. He'll make the play, and that will be out number 1. Excuse me. Supan is going to come out of the game. We're going to see a pinch hitter for the Brewers. Coming in to pinch hit for the Brewers, somebody who hits lefties well. They're going to bring in... So we are pinch hitting for Supan. I'm just deciding who they're going to pinch hit with. They're going to bring Matt Gamble in to pinch hit for... They're going to bring Matt Gamble in to pinch hit for... They're going to bring Matt Gamble in to pinch hit. 242 average, 5 homers, 20 RBI in 2009. Alright, so... Just going to make a note on... my score sheet, so timeout for that. Okay. Richard will get the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 6-2. Home run result, but the 14 is too high. Gamble with a 2-2, and instead he's going to ground that one over to second. Picking that one up is going to be Getz. He'll make the play for out number 2. Gamble thought he had a hold of one, but all he had a hold of was a ground ball. And now we've got McGahee stepping into the batter's box. McGahee today is 0 for 2. 2 outs in the inning. Let me adjust that as well. Richard will get the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. 4-3. Range play. McGahee with a 2-1, and that's a ground ball to short. Going after that is Ramirez. His range at short is a 3. He lays out, and he's got it. Nice play to get the White Sox out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Brewers, and the score is 4-2 White Sox after 5. All right, so we've got to enter in the G6. Catch up with chat for a little bit. And now our first order of business is Digital Diamond's probably going to start yelling at me that the Brewers need a pitcher. So I was going to get to that here. And coming in to pitch for the Brewers, we started him warming up, is Todd Coffey. There we go, and okay. Todd Coffey coming in. 4-4, 2 saves with a 2.90 ERA, 83 2/3 innings pitched, 76 hits, 65 strikeouts, 18 walks in 2009. Leading off the top of the 6th is going to be Josh Fields. Fields today is 0 for 1 with a walk. Coffey will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Coffey, 3-5. Against a righty, that's an automatic out, and it's going to be a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up is McGahee. He'll make the play, and that will be the first out of the inning. All right, Richard is due up next. He can pitch to 4 more batters before he tires, and they're going to let him bat. Richard today, though, is 0 for 2. Coffey gets the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here comes the pitch. Coffey, 5-3. Strikeout, 10. Oh, yeah, swing and a miss. Struck him out. That was a pretty bad swing, too. And that's the first strikeout for Coffey. For Coffey. Two outs, and here's Podsednik. Podsednik today is 0 for 3. Having a pretty bad outing. Coffey gets the sign, and here's the pitch. Coffey, 1-3. That's a blank. Over to Podsednik. 6-2, and that's a ground ball over to second. Picking that one up is McGahee. He'll make the play, and that will retire the side. 1-2-3 go the White Sox here in the top of the 6th. Richard, we established, can pitch to 4 more batters before he tires. They're going to let him pitch. Stepping into the batter's box, though, today is Hardy. Hardy today is 0 for 2. We are going to get some activity in the White Sox bullpen, as starting to warm up for the White Sox is going to be... The White Sox are going to get Scott Linebrink warm. Actually, they're going righty, righty, lefty. They're going to get Scott Linebrink warming up for the White Sox. Catch up with chat real quick. All quiet there. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. I'm curious how you guys think I'm doing with inside pitch so far. I'm definitely not having near the meltdown that I did last time I played this. Seems like it's going a lot better. Anywho, we'll get the White Sox into the field. Richard will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 6-4, walk 5. Hardy's going to trot down to first on the free pass. Neither one of these teams seem to understand stop giving up free passes. Infield will go to double play depth, and here's Braun. Braun today is 1 for 2 with a solo blast. Strategy roll, nothing happening on the 9. Richard gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Richard, 2-4, range play. Braun, 4-4, and it's a ground ball to second. Going after that at second is going to be Getz. His range is a 3. He lays out, and he's got it now. Next question is, do they turn the double play? 1, 2, 3. Hit to second. Shortstop is going to be your pivot. Shortstop, Ramirez pivot 0. 1 to 3, it's a double play. 2 outs. Getting to that is Getz. He turns and fires to Ramirez. Ramirez throws it over to first, and they get him by a step, and that's 2 outs in the inning. Stadium groans. Ugh. G4A, if I'm using strat shortcuts, should get me there. And while we make sure that's all set up, yep, here's Prince Fielder. Fielder today is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. 2 outs in the inning. Richard looking in at Przinsky for the sign. So 4-6-3. All right. Yep, Fielder is at the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Richard will get the sign, and here's the pitch. Richard, 4-5. Against a lefty, it's a blank. Fielder with a 6-3, and it's a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Dye. He'll make the play, and that will retire the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Brewers here in the bottom of the 6th. Score is 4-2 White Sox after 6. Coffee can pitch to one more batter before he tires. They're going to let him start the inning, but we are going to get activity in the Brewer bullpen in case he gets into trouble. Starting to warm up for the Brewers is going to be, let's see, the White Sox have righty, lefty. They're going to get Chris Smith warming up in the bullpen. Coming into bat for the White Sox is Ramirez. Ramirez today is 1 for 3 with a single. Coffee will be tired after Ramirez. Coffee will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Coffee, 4-2. Against a righty, strikeout plus 10. That's a 1, and the bat is going to go flying at the third base coach. Third base coach will duck out of the way, and the bat's going to get more airtime than the ball does, and that's 1 out. Stepping into the batter's box while Digital Diamond catches up is Dye. Dye today is 1 for 2 with a single. Coffee is now tired, but the Brewers are going to try to have him get them out of the inning. 4-2 White Sox, top of the 7th. 1 out. Coffee will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. 2-5. That's going to be a base hit past the pitcher because Coffee is tired. So die will end up with another single. And that is going to be it for coffee. The infield will go to double play depth. Here's Przinski. Przinski today is 1 for 2 with a double, and he reached on an error. And that's going to be it for Kendall. And coming in to pitch for the Brewers, once I update it in Digital Diamond, is going to be Chris Smith. We'll go with him anyway. 4.00 with no saves, 4.11 ERA, 46 innings pitched, 41 hits, 35 strikeouts, 19 walks in 2009. So bear with me while I update Digital Diamond about the Brewers' new pitcher. There you are. Needing a little bit of long relief here. The infield is at double play depth, as I remember to update that. Strategy roll up first for die. And a 4, nothing happening there. Przinski will wait for the pitch from Smith. Smith will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Smith, 3-4. Strikeout plus 10. That's a 9. And that will be enough to send Przinski back to the dugout on strikes. All right, CS. That'll be a swinging third strike with 2 outs in the inning. The fortunate thing with Digital Diamond is I won't be using it until I get into the playoffs, but I'm trying to get reps in now so I can smooth out using it. Here's Anderson stepping into the batter's box. He is 1 for 2 with a double. Infield back. Strategy roll. That's a 16. Nothing happening there. Smith will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Smith, 2-4, at the park. It's been a while since we've been to Miller Park's card. Miller Park with a 1-6. That is a home run to the pull side. That's a 3, and against a righty, that is just good enough for a boom! That ball is hit high. That ball is hit deep to right field. Going back for that one is Hart. He's back to the track, back to the wall, and the ball is going to sail out. Is going to sail out of here. Home run, Brian Anderson. And the score is now 6-2 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium groans. Ugh. Miller Park is probably going to start emptying here any minute so people can start beating traffic. 2 outs, and the batter now is Getz. Getz today is 0 for 2 with a walk. If we got a base runner on, strategy rolls are now off. Smith will look in for the sign from Kendall. Hopefully a better sign this time. He will set, and here's the pitch. Smith, 3-1. Range play, not something you want to see. Gets with a 5-2, and that's a power hit to right field. The 19 is going to be too high against a righty, but now it turns into a range play for Hart. His range is a 2. He leaps, and he can't get it, and that is going to be a base hit for Getz. And the Brewers seem to be coming completely apart. Here's Beckham. Beckham now is 1 for 3 with a solo homer. Strategy rolls, as I mentioned, are off. Smith will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Smith, 2-2. Pitcher result, but the 20 is way too high. Beckham, 2-2 of his own, and that's a base hit past second base. Gets as a base runner 4 with 2 outs. He will have the speed. He'll make third. Beckham up to first. So bear with me. So that's going to be a 1B1 R1 plus. That should get me to runners at the corners with 2 outs. I'll just double check to make sure that's where we end up. No, hold on. That is not where I wanted to end up. So that should be our 1B. So 1B4, R1, maybe star. Let me try that. Because I want it, like I said, I'm trying to end up with runners at the corners. I'm trying to end up with the runner going from first to third. Let's try 1B4 star. Okay, screw the narrative part of this. We're going to go 1B star. So that should end up with gets on third. That should end up with runners at the corners with 2 outs. Perfect. That's where I was trying to get to. Here's Fields. Infield is going to play back. Fields today is 0 for. Is actually 0 for 2 with a walk. Smith will get the sign from Kendall. Miller Park, not happy with what they're seeing. Strategy rolls, as I mentioned, are off. Smith will get the sign. He will set, and here's the pitch. 4-6, walk. 13 is thanks to Miller Park, the bases are once again full of White Sox. This is problematic if you're a Brewers fan. And Richard is going to come out of the game. He's done quite the job for the White Sox today. They're going to pinch hit for him. Once Digital Diamond catches up, I'll go check out chat for a second. Yep, thanks, Jester. I did get it figured out. 1B star. That's where I was trying to get to. Now, coming back to business, Richard, they're going to pinch it for Richards. Or for Richard, I should say. Pinch hitter for the White Sox, somebody who hits righties well. Smith does not seem to have it today. He's going to be tired after this batter, and we're going to get some activity in the Brewer bullpen. We're going to start. We're going to get Claudio Vargas warming up in the Brewer bullpen. As for who the White Sox are going to pinch hit with, they are going to use. They're going to go with Jim Thome as the pinch hitter here. 249 average, 23 homers, 77 RBI in 2009. 6-2 White Sox. Bases are full of White Sox. Strategy rolls are off. Smith needs to get out of this inning with a really good pitch. He will get the sign from Kendall. Miller Park wants to see a good pitch. Stadium is probably going to empty if this is a bad one. Smith will set. He will wind up. He will kick. And here's the pitch. 1-2. Home run result. The 19 is still too high, even with the +1 from Miller Park. Thome will swing, though. With a 2-3. And against a righty, that's going to be a base hit past the pitcher. Or past second, actually. Getz will score. Beckham 5. That'll be plenty to score him. Right. Single past second. Yes, that'll be plenty to score Beckham. And then a single to second. Fields becomes a 3 with 2 outs. Because of 2 outs, that will be enough to advance him to third. Thome will end up at first. And it is 8-2 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium barfs. Blah. So 1B star. Stadium is not happy at all with what they're seeing, and the decision to pinch hit to send Jim Thome in to pinch hit pays dividends here. And coming up to bat, let me make sure we ended up with where I wanted to be. Yep. Podsednik is coming up. Smith is very much done today. The Brewers have seen more than enough of Chris Smith. Coming in to pitch is going to be Claudio Vargas. 1-0 with a 1.74 ERA, 41 and a third innings pitched, 25 hits, 30 strikeouts, and 14 walks in 2009. Let me make sure I've got the right bench that I'm... Oh, I think I want to just go to... yeah. Alright, so let's go find Claudio Vargas, who apparently is not on the Brewers as of this game, so we'll have to pretend they got somebody else warming up. Let's go to Carlos Villanueva instead. We'll pretend he started warming up for the bullpen. 4-10 with a 5.34 ERA, 96 innings pitched, 102 hits, 83 strikeouts, 27 walks. So we'll go to him instead. And while we let Digital Diamond catch up, once again, strategy rolls are off. Villanueva will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. Villanueva, 3-3. Pitcher result, only on a 1, though, so not happening there. Podsednik with a 4-5, and that's going to be a fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going to be Hart. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. But more damage done. 2 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits with a walk, and a solo blast by Brian Getz. And the score is now 8-2 White Sox, heading into the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time. Which I'm actually feeling a little bit loose myself, especially since I got my second workout in today. Once we get all this sorted out, Richard is coming out of the game. Coming into pitch. Let's make sure... Yes, I know Digital Diamond. Let's make sure I can bring Scott Linebrink into pitch, because that's how I started warming up in the bullpen. There you are. Perfect. So coming in to pitch for the White Sox is Scott Linebrink. 3-7 with a 4.66 ERA, 56 innings pitched, 70 hits, 55 strikeouts, and 17 walks, in 2009. He is facing the middle of the Brewers' order and a nearly empty Miller Park. Leading off the bottom of the 7th is Mike Cameron. Cameron today is 2 for 2, though, with 2 singles. Linebrink will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. 1-5 against a righty, home run result, and the 3 is going to get the Brewers back into it with a boom! High, deep, gone. Home run, Mike Cameron. And the score is now 8-3 in favor of the Brewers, but they've got a long way to go. And here's Corey Hart coming into the batter's box. Hart today is 0 for 2. He hit into the inning-killing double play in the 4th. Linebrink will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Linebrink, 4-3. Against a righty, that's a base hit past the pitcher. Apparently Linebrink's going to have his own meltdown. And now stepping into the batter's box is Bill Hall. Hall today is 1 for 2 with 1 RBI. Infield at double play depth. Strategy rolls are still very much off. Linebrink will get the sign from Przinsky. He's got to settle this down for the White Sox. Linebrink will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. Linebrink, 1-6. About settling it down. That's a home run result. Against a righty, Hall needs a 7 plus, actually no adjustment there. The 9 will be too high, but Hall will swing away. Hall with a 6-4, and that's a base hit past short. Hart will not have the speed. He'll have to hold at second. Haul on with a base hit, though. And all of a sudden, the Brewers have something cooking with nobody out. Stepping into the batter's box now is going to be Kendall. Kendall, though, is 0 for 2. Strategy rolls are off, but the Brewers are suddenly threatening. Let me just double check my laundry timer because, yes, I'm working on that as well. So, okay, bear with me while I go turn my laundry. So we'll have to have a little bit of an intermission here. So, actually, let's go to that screen. There we go. Be right back. Apologies for the delay, typical Sunday fun and games. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, I think Kendall was just about to step into the batter's box. Kendall today is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Strategy rolls are still off. As we continue this game, I hope you guys won't mind weighing in a little bit on how you think I'm doing with this playthrough of Inside Pitch. I think it's really helping me to slow it down immensely here. We are going to get some activity in the Brewer bullpen while we wait, as the Brewers are going to start. The Brewers are going to go for a little bit of long relief, I think. Yes, after that episode, they're going to get Chris Narveson warming up in the Brewer bullpen. We've got Hart on at second, Hall at first, Kendall at the plate, nobody out. 8-3 White Sox. Kendall, not much of a threat to try to get more runs here. But Linnebrink will get the sign from Przinski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Linnebrink with a 4-3. Against a righty, that's a base hit past the pitcher. So we'll check to see. All right, Hart on the single past the pitcher will not have the speed to score, so he'll hold at third, but the bases are full of beer makers. Once we get Digital Diamond caught up, we are going to see a pinch hitter. Villanueva is going to come out of the game because the Brewers want to take advantage of this golden opportunity. So Villanueva is going to come out of the game. And coming in to pinch hit for the Brewers, somebody who hits righties well. They want Ricky Weeks in there. 272 average, 9 homers, 24 RBI in 2009. So Villanueva, they're going to pinch hit. I was going to say, how about the other team? And apparently I can't use him to pinch hit either, Ricky Weeks. So hold on, before I figure out who I'm actually going to pinch hit with, let me adjust the camera a little bit. Because I did not mean to jar it there. Okay, now that we've got that figured out, let's see who I can bring in to pinch hit, because I want somebody with decent power. He's possible. Okay, I think coming in to pinch hit, though, is going to be, come on, there we go, Jody Garoot. 230 average, 9 homers, 35 RBI in 2009. I'm trying to use as-played lineups as much as I can in Digital Diamond. Linnebrink came in. He's going to be tired after this batter, so we're going to get some activity in the White Sox bullpen as well. As starting to get loose is going to be Octavio Dotel is going to start getting loose for the White Sox. Linnebrink will look into Przinsky for the sign. He will set. Here's the kick, and here's the pitch. 6-6, strikeout 5, swing and a miss, struck him out. And the Brewers, well, I was going to say, that's the first out of the inning. So Garoot was going to sit down on strikes, and coming into the batter's box now is McGahee. He is 0 for 3. Linnebrink is now tired. They're going to try to get him out of the inning. They are going to try to have him get them out of the inning. This is probably a bad decision, but we'll find out soon enough. Infield is going to stay at double play depth. Linnebrink gets a sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Linnebrink, 6-1. Range play. McGahee with a 1-1. That's a base hit that's a single into right field. But it's a range play. It's a range play for Dye. His range is a 2. He runs, he's making it out, he's on the run, and he's not going to get there, and that is going to be a base hit. Hart will score. Hall single to right is a base runner 3, single to right plus 2 on a 1-5. Hall will score. Kendall base running 3, single to center plus 3. Kendall will automatically make third. McGahee to first. Score is now 8-5 in favor of the Brewers. What's left of Miller Park? Cheers. Yay! 1B star. I'm getting pretty good at remembering that 1B star. Alright, where was I? Oh yes, so that's an S. Hart scored, Hall scored, Kendall to third, and McGahee on at first. Okay, now that we got that figured out, batter now is Hardy. Hardy today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Strategy rolls are now back on. And that's a 17, nothing happening. And that's going to be it for Linnebrink, actually. They're going to get the hook for him now. I'll re-roll the strategy once Digital Diamond gets situated. Coming into pitch for the White Sox, Octavio Dotel should be available, and he is. Alright, so here comes Dotel. Making the walk from the bullpen is going to be Octavio Dotel. 3-3 with a 3.32 ERA, 62 and a third innings pitched, 54 hits, 75 strikeouts, 35 walks in 2009. Alright, so once again, Hardy is in the batter's box, and the strategy rolls, as I mentioned, are back on. So we'll re-roll that. That's a 4. Nothing happening there. Dotel suddenly finds himself in a jam, trying to get the White Sox out of the inning. Dotel will get the sign from Przinsky once I remember to make a note on the score sheet. He will set, and here's the pitch. 1-4. Walk plus 10. The 10 will easily be ball 4, and the bases, once again, we go right back to the bases full of beer makers. And the White Sox cannot get out of the inning. Stepping into the batter's box now is the last guy the White Sox want to see in Ryan Braun. Braun today is... Hang on, we gotta enter that in. Braun today is 1 for 3 with a solo homer. No, wait, hold on. Okay, you back up. Digital Diamond I'm talking to, by the way. Okay, now that we've got that figured out. Yep, okay. Now we've got that sorted out. Strategy roll. Nothing happening on the 11. What's left of Miller Park is on their feet, hoping for a good hit. Dotel looking into Przinsky for the sign. The White Sox had an 8-2 lead coming into the inning. That lead is almost all the way evaporated. Dotel gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set. Here's the pitch. 6-2. Home run chance. Righty. 1-9. The 2 is good. To give the Brewers the lead, Braun needs a 13. Does Braun give the Brewers the lead with one swing of the bat? No! It's too high. Braun will swing, though. 3-3. It's a ground ball to second. Getting to that one is going to be Getz. 1, 2, 3. Shortstop, pivot Ramirez 0. 1-3, the White Sox dodge a huge bullet. Side retired. Braun grounds that over to Getz. Getz picks that up. He'll throw it over to Ramirez at short. Ramirez turns, fires to Fields at first. Inning-ending double play. And Braun is hit into his second double play of the day. Stadium barfs. Blech. 3 runs. Actually, 3 runs on 5 hits, a walk. But the Brewers are not able to do any... The Brewers cut into the lead, but they still have a ways to go. 8-5 White Sox after 7. That was a very close play. The White Sox bench breathes a sigh of relief. Phew! That was a scary situation if you're a White Sox fan. Brewers need a pitcher. Coming into pitch for the Brewers... Well, once again, not be the guy I started warming up. Coming into pitch for the Brewers will be... Instead... Seth McClung. 3-3 with a 4.94 ERA. 62 innings pitched, as many hits, 40 strikeouts, 38 walks in 2009. He is going to be charged once I get all of this reset. He is going to be charged with the middle. Where are you? You hit into a double play to end the inning. I think I forgot to. Right. Okay, so he's charged with the 2, 3, 4 of the White Sox order. Leading off the top of the 8th, we've got Alexi Ramirez. Ramirez today is 1 for 4. Okay. McClung can pitch to 6 batters before he tires. He will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. McClung, 3-3, walk, 11. Yes, thanks to Miller Park, that will walk Ramirez. And stepping into the batter's box now is Dye. Dye today is 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Infield is at double play depth. Strategy rolls are now back off because we moved into the 8th inning. McClung will concentrate on Dye. McClung will set, and here's the pitch. McClung, 2-6, walk plus 10, and that will walk Dye as well. Brewers bench out to talk to McClung and try to settle him down. And stepping into the batter's box now is Przinski. Przinski today is 1 for 4. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. McClung will pitch. 2-2. Hit by pitch. 16 is going to be too high. Przinski with a 6-1. That's a power hit to right field. That's an 11, and against a righty, it's going to die out there. It's going to be a fly ball into right field. Coming under that one for the Brewers is going to be Hart. He'll make the play for 1 out. Ramirez, base runner 3. Fly to right. Hart is a... Where's Hart? Hart is a -1 arm. Ramirez can make it to third on a 1 or a 2. He will hold at second. 1 out in the inning. The Brewers are trying to keep this game right where it is. Stepping into the batter's box now is Brian Anderson. Anderson today is, once I enter it in Digital Diamond, Anderson today is 2 for 3 with a double and a homer. McClung will deal with Anderson. He will set, and here's the pitch. McClung, 1-3, range play. Anderson, 2-2, fly ball into right field. Getting under that one is going after that is Braun in right field. His range is a 4. He leaps, he lays out, and he can't get it, and that is going to be a base hit. Ramirez, base runner 3, single the left -2. He will score on a 1. He will not. He'll have to hold at third. Bases are full of White Sox, though. Should end up like that. And here's Getz stepping into the batter's box. The infield has got to play in to try to turn the home to first double play and keep the score right where it is. Getz today is 1 for 3 with a single and a walk. McClung will pitch. McClung, 3-3, walk, 17 is high. Getz, 5-3, and it's a ground ball to second. No pivot on this one, as they're going to have to try to turn the home to first double play with the infield in. So it's a G4. So it's a G4. So we're going to go 1, 2, and no pivot. This is a double play on a 1 or a 2. No, it's a 6. So instead we're going to end up with the run. Would they get the... I think they get the out at the plate, but nothing else on that one. Let me just double check how that works. I think this is part of the problem I was having with inside pitch. So let me see. I believe with the infield in, if they don't make the double play, So infield in. He would have to go... What about infield in with the bases loaded? I think they would just take the out at home, and the bases would still be loaded. That's a G4-2. So Ramirez would be thrown out. Bases are still going to be loaded, though. At least that's how I'm going to play that. So that's going to be a G4-2. So they're going to get the out at the plate, but the bases are still going to be loaded. 2 outs in the inning, though. And here's Beckham. Beckham today is 2 for 4 with a homer and a single. Bad time. This would be a bad time for McClung to have a little meltdown. He is actually facing his last batter of the day. He will be, well, maybe not his last batter of the day, but he will be tired after Beckham. McClung will pitch, though. McClung, 6'4", walk. 16 is just barely too high, even with the +1 to Miller Park. Beckham, 6'4", and it's popped up on the infield. Getting under that at first is going to be Fielder. He'll make the catch, and the Brewers dodge a huge bullet. 2 walks and a hit, but the White Sox leave him loaded as we head into the bottom of the 8th. What's left of Miller Park, sighing in relief. Phew! Let's see, when did Dotel come in? He came in... Alright, so he's got 2 more batters he can face before he tires. I think McClung is now tired. Oop. As the peg I was going to use to track, that goes flying. Alright, Dotel's got 2 more batters he can face before he tires. They're going to let him pitch a little bit further. Leading off the bottom of the 8th is Prince Fielder. Fielder today is 1 for 2. Bottom of the 8th. Brewers trying to get back into this one. We're going to get some activity in the Brewer bullpen as they're going to start. Let me see who's in the Brewer bullpen that I can start warming up. I don't want to use Hoffman yet because they're not in a save situation. The Brewers are going to get... They're going to get Mark DeFelice warming up in the Brewers bullpen. He'll be probably the 6th pitcher, I think, for the Brewers today. Cancel out of that. And Dotel will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Dotel, 4-1. Pitcher result, on a 1 against the lefty, it's a base hit past the pitcher. That's a 1 on the D20. And Fielder will be on with a leadoff single. Infield will go straight to double play depth, as here's Cameron. Cameron today is 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a homer. Strategy rules are still off. Dotel will be tired after Cameron. Dotel will get the sign from Przinsky. Let's get some activity in the White Sox bullpen. That's starting to get loose. Will be... They're gonna get DJ Carrasco warming up in case they get into some trouble. Dotel will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Dotel, 3-6. Against a righty, it's a blank. Cameron, 6-6, and it's popped up on the infield. Dotel will get under that one. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 1. And stepping into the batter's box now, we've got Corey Hart. Hart today is 1 for 3 with a single. Dotel is now tired, but they're going to try to have him get out of the inning. Dotel will get the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Dotel, 1-4, walk plus 10, and that 13 is going to turn into a 20, and he will easily walk Hart. And suddenly the Brewers have the tying run coming to the plate with 1 out. Here's Bill Hall in the batter's box. Hall today is 2 for 3 with a single and a triple. Dotel is going to get the hook on that note. Coming in to pitch for the White Sox, hopefully this will work out. Hopefully DJ Carrasco is available to be used in this game. Yep, there he is, right at the top. That makes my life easy. Coming in to pitch for the White Sox is going to be DJ Carrasco. 5-1 with a 3.76 ERA, 93 1/3 innings pitched, 103 hits, 62 strikeouts, 25 walks in 2009. He is charged with keeping this game right where it is. Fielder looking on at second, Hart at first. Carrasco gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set. Here's the pitch. 2-4. That's a blank. Over to Hall. 6-1. And it's a fly ball into center field. Getting under that one is going to be Anderson. He'll make the catch, and that's out number 2. Fielder, base runner 1. Anderson is 0 arm. Fielder can take third on a 1. That's a 3. He will hold it at second. 2 outs. Once I get this updated, so that's going to be an F8. Kendall will be up once Digital Diamond catches up. Kendall today is 1 for 3. Carrasco gets the sign from Przinsky. He will set, and here's the pitch. Carrasco, 6-4. Against a righty, strikeout, 18 is high. Kendall with a 3-5, and Kendall's going to lift that one into center field. Getting under that one is Anderson once again. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side. Hit and a walk, but the Brewers can't do anything with it. Score remains 8-5 White Sox after 8. Pitcher's spot is due up first is due to lead off the 9th. They're going to get the hook for McClung, though. Coming in to pitch for the Brewers will be Mark DeFelice. 4-1 with a 3.66 ERA, 51 2/3 innings pitched, 49 hits, 48 strikeouts, 9 walks in 2009. Apparently the Brewers just weren't very good. Let's see, there's Mark DeFelice. Okay. Yep, the pitcher's spot is due to lead off the bottom of the 9th. Alright, stepping into the batter's box here is Josh Fields. Fields today is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. DeFelice will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. DeFelice, 4-3, strikeout 5, swing and a miss, struck him out. Carrasco is going to come out of the game. We're going to get some activity in the White Sox bullpen as Bobby Jenks is going to start getting loose for the White Sox. Coming into pinch hit for Carrasco, let's see who we can use. Coming into pinch hit will be, we want somebody with decent power. We can go with him. I think that's everybody we can potentially use. So they're going to bring in, against a righty, the White Sox are going to bring in Paul Konerko to pinch hit. 277 average, 28 homers, 88 RBI in 2009. DeFelice trying to keep the damage to a minimum here. Yes, 1 out in the inning. All right, DeFelice will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. DeFelice, 2-2. Home run result. Righty, 1-20. The 6 is very much good. Against a righty, Konerko needs a 12. Can he extend the lead for the White Sox? He can with a boom! High, deep, gone. Home run, Paul Konerko. And the score is now 9-5 in favor of the White Sox. Stadium groans. Ugh. And here's Podsednik. Podsednik today is... Just making a note here. Podsednik today is 1 for 5. DeFelice gets the sign from Kendall. Once again, got to have instant amnesia. He will set, and here's the pitch. DeFelice, 6-6. Strikeout, 6. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And that will be the second out of the inning. And here's Ramirez. Ramirez today is 1 for 4 with a single and a walk. DeFelice will be tired after Ramirez. DeFelice will get the sign from Kendall. He will set, and here's the pitch. DeFelice, 1-6, range play. Ramirez, 3-6, and that's a base hit into right field. Going after that for the Brewers is Hart. His range is a 2. He leaps, he lays out, and he makes the catch. Da-da-da, da-da-da. There's a web gem for you. And he will take away a base hit from Ramirez and retire the side. Solo homer by Konerko. Solo home run by Konerko is the only scoring for the inning. But will we see some 9th inning magic? There's only one way to find out, and the White Sox are going to turn to the hammer in Bobby Jenks. 3-4 with 29 saves, 3.71 ERA, 53 1/3 innings pitched, 52 hits, 49 strikeouts, 15 walks in 2009. This is, of course, not a save situation as the lead is too big. All right. We should be able to bring Bobby Jenks in, and yes, we can. Okay. So now that we've got that sorted out, we will be seeing a pinch hitter for the Brewers straight away as DeFelice is going to come out of the game. Coming in to pinch hit we should be able to have Mike Rivera come in and pinch hit. Yes, we can. Excuse me. Mike Rivera will come in to pinch hit. 2 homers, 14 RBI on a 228 average in 2009. Jenks looking into Pierzynski for the sign. He will set. Let me make sure I've got this all set. Okay. Jenks will set, and here's the pitch. Jenks, 3-2. Error on a throw. It's been a while since we needed the error chart. I was getting used to not needing it. Rivera, 2-4. And that's going to be a fly ball into center field, so I actually didn't need it after all. Getting under that for the White Sox is going to be Anderson once again, and that will be 1 out in the inning. And here's McGahee. McGahee today is 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Jenks will get the sign from Pierzynski. He will set. Here's the pitch. Jenks, 6-3, strikeout. I'm going to call that a 14. Either way, it's too high. McGahee, 2-2, and it's a base hit into center field. And the Brewers seem to have life, even though Miller Park is basically emptied at this point. Infield will go to double play depth And here's Hardy. Hardy today is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Jinx suddenly finding himself in a little bit of trouble. He's now got a runner on to deal with. Jinx will get the sign from Pierzynski. He will set, and here's the pitch. Jinx, 5-6. Home run result, but the 10 is too high. Hardy will swing. 6-3, and it's a ground ball to second. 2, 3, 4. Shortstop pivot Ramirez 0. A 1-4. This game is over. That's your game, folks. Hardy grounds that one over to Getz. Getz turns and fires to Ramirez. Ramirez flips it over to field at first. Double play. That's your game. The Chicago White Sox are going to take this one from the Brewers by a score of 9-5. Stadium, what's left of it, groans. Ugh. Final line score coming up. For the White Sox, 9 runs on 13 hits and no errors. For the Brewers, 5 runs on 11 hits and 1 error. I've got to close out of this to make the game official. To get our winning and losing pitchers, I could probably get the box score too. Once it decides it wants to cooperate, that is. Here we are. Winning pitcher today is going to be Clayton Richards, to the shock of, well, not yours truly. Losing pitcher for the Brewers, let me scroll down to find it. Dotel and Carrasco get holds. Jeff Supan will end up with the loss. Of course, no hold because the lead, or no save because the lead was too high when Jinx came in. Who was the MVP of this one? The player of the game was, where are we? Was Brian Anderson. So that will do it for this playthrough of Inside Pitch. Wow, 2 hours on that one, but I think a lot of that was me fighting with Digital Diamond a little bit. So definitely not a problem with Inside Pitch, but hopefully when I cut out Digital Diamond, like I will during the regular season, it won't be as big of a problem during the regular season. I'll only be using Digital Diamond, of course, during the playoffs. So that will do it for this playthrough of Inside Pitch Baseball. I'm not sure what I'm doing on the channel yet. I was going to continue with baseball testing tomorrow with another couple of games lined up, but I'm starting to kind of think about that. Maybe I don't need to test Digital Diamond so much, but I'm sure we'll have something on the channel as I'm off for Labor Day tomorrow. I haven't decided what that something is going to be yet, though. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.